Hello and welcome to the Indian Express. I'm Primankur Biswas, and today we are going to dissect the exit polls of the Gujarat and Himachal elections. The BJP is headed for a massive win in Gujarat, where it has been in power for nearly 2.5 decades and is marginally ahead of Congress in Himachal Pradesh. According to the exit polls in Gujarat, BJP could create history and well on its way to begin its 7th consecutive term in power. For the Congress, the exit poll figures were massively disappointing, as it could be staring at its worst performance. I have with me Harish Sudhar, the editor of Indian Express Gujarati, who is going to help us dissect these predictions. Harish, आपको क्या लग रहा है अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस प्रेडिक्शंस, एग्जिट पोल के प्रेडिक्शंस से? हम लोगों ने सब डिस्कस ही किया था कि ऐसा ही कुछ होने वाला है, पर ये नंबर्स आर ऑलमोस्ट हिस्टोरिकल।
यस, ये जो है ना एग्जिट पोल्स के नंबर आए हैं। मैं इसके बात करूं तो हमने पहले भी ये डिस्कशन किया था कि इस बार का जो इलेक्शन में जो वोटिंग है वो भाजपा और कांग्रेस दोनों को ही चिंतित वो करने वाला है। लेकिन एक जो ट्रेंड वो रहा है कि गुजरात में पहले जब कांग्रेस का राज था, तब क्या होता था कि कम वोटिंग में भी कांग्रेस जीत हो जाती थी। लेकिन पिछले 2 दशक से हम बात करें कि मोदी जी यहाँ पर मुख्यमंत्री बने, इसके बाद बीजेपी का जो यहाँ का वोटर है वो कमिटेड है और कांग्रेस के जो वोटर है उनको बूथ पे लाना पड़ता है। यानी कि जो कम वोटिंग है वो बीजेपी को कहीं ना कहीं फायदा देने वाला है। वही हमें एग्जिट पोल के अंदर दिख रहा है। ये एग्जिट पोल वोटिंग से पहले ही तैयार किए हैं, लेकिन ये बात जो अंदर कहीं ना कहीं दिख के आ रही है कि जो नंबर ऑफ सीट लास्ट टाइम से बहुत ही इसमें प्लस है। मैं बात करूं कि एबीपीसी वोटर में बीजेपी को 128 से 140 दिखाया है, कांग्रेस को 3143 है और आप में 3 से लेके 11 तक का है। और जो है ना अन्य है वो 2 से 6 की बात है। दूसरा आज तक का जो है वो बीजेपी ने 129 से लेके 151, यानी कि वो हिस्टोरिकल जो जीत वाली बात है। बीजेपी में मोदी जी और अमित शाह सभी ने कहा था कि इस बार हम रिकॉर्ड ब्रेक जीतेंगे। तो ये जो हिस्टोरिकल विनिंग वाली बात है वो 150 प्लस वाली है, वो इस बार कहीं ना कहीं दिख रही है। और ये कम वोटिंग वाली जो बात है, इससे ये पता चल जाता है कि इस बार बीजेपी ज्यादा सीट लेके आएगी। कांग्रेस हमने ग्राउंड है ना जीरो पे भी देखा है, तो कांग्रेस कहीं नहीं थी। वोटर को बूथ पे ले जाने की बात हो, कैंपेन की बात हो, रैली की बात हो, वोटर से कम्युनिकेशन करने की जो बात हो, वो कहीं ना कहीं पर सभी पहलू पे कांग्रेस इस बार फेल है। एक काम वो अच्छा किया था कि जो सीट जो देनी थी, जो लोकल फैक्टर को देख के जो सीट का बंटवारा जो टिकट देने थी, वो एक काम सही किया था। इसके बाद वाले सभी पहलू में वो फेल थी, तो वो हमें यहाँ दिख रही है। तो ये है। और लास्ट टाइम की मैं बात करूं तो 2017 में भी जो एग्जिट पोल आए थे उसमें से ज्यादातर फेल हुए थे। लेकिन दो जो थे, जैसे कि मैं आज तक की बात करूं, आज तक एक्सिस का जो था वो 2017 में ये कहा गया था कि बीजेपी को 99 से लेके 113 सीट आएगी। तो वो कहीं ना कहीं सच हुआ था।
अकॉर्डिंग टू नंबर्स बीजेपी को तब मिला था 99।
आज तक ने क्या था, यस वो 99। यस, तो इस बार जो आज तक ने दिया है वो 129 से लेके 151 बीजेपी के है ना दिया है। तो मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं ये फिगर टच हो सकती है और बीजेपी एक हिस्टोरिकल जीत की तरफ आगे बढ़ सकती है।
अगर हम 2017 को देखें, वहां पे बीजेपी को मिला था 99 सीट्स एंड कांग्रेस को 77 सीट्स मिला था बिकॉज ऑफ द स्पिरिटेड कैंपेन ऑफ 77, या बिकॉज ऑफ द स्पिरिटेड कैंपेन ऑफ द यंगस्टर्स, राइट? तो इस साल वो स्पिरिटेड कैंपेन आपने कहा है नहीं दिखा कांग्रेस में, ऑलमोस्ट एज इफ लाइक दे हैव गिवन अप अकॉर्डिंग टू मोस्ट ऑफ आवर रिपोर्टर्स। तो उसके बारे में अगर आप बात करें थोड़ा।
कांग्रेस की बात करूं तो यहाँ पर जितनी सीट कांग्रेस को आती है वो ना तो कोई लीडर की मेहनत से आती है ना कोई कैंपेन से आती है। गुजरात में पहले से जो आजादी काल से यहाँ एक कांग्रेस का जो एक माहौल था, यानी कि जो कमिटेड लोग हैं, आज वो 75 साल के हो या 60 साल के वो बंदे हो, उसको जाके आप पूछोगे कि ये जो नई पार्टी है उसने ये किया है वो कहा है, लेकिन वो नहीं मानेंगे। उनके ना डीएनए के अंदर ही कांग्रेस है। तो ये जो वोटर्स है वो कहीं ना कहीं कांग्रेस को जिता के 35 77 तक ले जाते हैं। माधव सिंह के बाद कांग्रेस यहाँ से गई है, वो गई है, फिर वापस वो नहीं आई है। लेकिन जो कमिटेड वोटर है उनसे वो विपक्ष में बैठती है, विपक्ष से कम सीटें लाके उनका एक स्टैंड जो है 30 से लेके 77 का वो तय होता जा रहा है। लेकिन ये जो बड़ी बात है जो आपने भी कहा कि ये है कि कांग्रेस यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं करती। सिर्फ वोटर जो कांग्रेस के हैं वो उनको वोट देके जिताते हैं। ना तो उनके पास ठोस मुद्दे हैं, ना तो विरोध करने की एक स्ट्रेटजी है, ना कोई स्टाइल है, ना कैंपेन है। कि कोई लीडर भी ऐसा फेस नहीं है कि जो वोटर्स को साथ लेके एक मुहिम चला पाए या कोई मुद्दे को अंतिम है ना रिजल्ट की ओर लेके जा सके। ये है एक कांग्रेस को लेके पूरा ट्रेंड।
और आपका आप had a high decibel campaign. There was a lot of हवा थी. People talked about the role of AAP. But according to these predictions, आपको मतलब small numbers ही मिलेंगे, मतलब significant but small numbers, right? Most of them saying that around 10 से 20 के बीच seats maximum मिल सकते।
मेरा यहाँ पर ये मानना है कि आप डबल डिजिट क्रॉस नहीं कर पाएगा। हाँ, लेकिन एक सेंटेंस में कहना चाहूँ तो गुजरात के इस बार के इलेक्शन से आप राष्ट्रीय पार्टी बन सकती है। यानी कि जो वोट शेयर वाली बात है वो 12 15% वो लेके जाएगी, इससे वो राष्ट्रीय पार्टी है ना, पार्टी की तरह वो
तो आप
नॉमिनेट
कह रहे हो
हो
कि उनका
सकती है।
वोट शेयर सीट नंबर
हाँ,
नहीं पर वोट शेयर सिग्निफिकेंट रहेगी।
यस, बड़ा
हम्म।
उसका आपका वोट शेयर बढ़ेगा। इतना बढ़ेगा, मैं तो ये देख रहा हूँ कि कुछ सीटें जो ऐसी है वहां पर वो 15 से 25% तक भी जा सकती हैं। जैसे कि मैं अल्पेश की बात करूँ, ये गोपाल की बात करूँ, ये है ना ईशुदान की बात करूँ, वहां पर वो मे बी कि जीत जाए तो अच्छा है, लेकिन अगर नहीं जीतते तो भी 20 15% वोट शेयर लेके जाएंगे। और वो जो वोट लेके जाएंगे वो ज्यादातर मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कि वो कांग्रेस के ही जाएंगे। सिटी एरिया जहां पर है वहां पर बीजेपी के वोटर्स बहुत ही अच्छे जब ज्यादा है। तो सिटी एरिया जो है, जैसे कि हम है ना सूरत की बात करें तो सूरत में कतारगाम है, वराछा है, जहां से वो आपको वोट मिलेंगे वो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़े बीजेपी को लॉस कर सकते हैं, लेकिन ज्यादातर सीट में आप कांग्रेस को ही काटेगा, बीजेपी को प्लस होगा। लेकिन ये 2022 के बाद आप अगर इसी लाइन पे, इसी स्ट्रेटेजी से, इसी ठोस हिम्मत और ये जो उनका
अग्रेशन।
जुस्सा है ना, जुस्सा है, ये है ना उनका अग्रेशन है, वो लेके अगर वो मेहनत करते हैं तो जो अगला 5 साल के बाद इलेक्शन आएगा उसमें आप सेकंड नंबर पे या फिर वो मे बी सरकार चेंज कर सकती है। कांग्रेस नहीं दिखा, कांग्रेस का भी जो स्टैंड स्थान है ना, पोजीशन है, वो आप ले सकती है, आराम से ले सकती है।
Okay. Thank you for joining us, Harish. That's all for today's viewers. Join us on the result day, which is December 8th, for an in-depth live discussion on the results, where Harish and many other panelists will join us. Thank you. Thank you
यस,
for joining in next
यस,
time.
थैंक यू टुडे, या
According to the exit polls which were announced yesterday by most television channels, the BJP is headed for a massive win in Gujarat, where it has been in power for nearly 2.5 decades. and is marginally ahead of the Congress in Himachal Pradesh, uh, where my colleague Amil has been reporting for the past few months. Amil, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Amil, our initial reading just after the elections in Himachal, where it seemed like Congress had an edge, but according to the exit polls, it seems to be a different story. Apart from just one, all the other exit polls suggest that BJP is heading for a win. So, what is your reading of it?
Yes, so the one thing that is clear from the exit polls as well, which is also the sentiment on the ground and the sentiment within the political parties, is that it's a very close contest. It's going to be the margin of victory is going to be very thin, and there's a very good chance as well that even while it's predicted that BJP might cross the majority mark by a narrow margin, it's also possible that the role of a couple of independents might also come into play, and the BJP has always been confident of forming government here, even in the case that if the numbers fall short. So the as per the exit polls, it appears that there are a few things that have sort of worked out in the favor of the party. One of them primarily is the Modi factor, because their election has primarily been centered around Prime Minister Modi. He has been the face of this election, even in the run-up. The party had been talking about how important it is to have a double engine government, like a stable government at the center and stable government at the state, and how Narendra Modi is making it possible. He's making the dream possible of small states like a hill state like Himachal, that they will also get the kind of attention and policies that the people require. So initially, the debate was that whether Modi factor will pull them through here or not. And from the exit polls, it appears that it might have just helped the party cross that line and push it towards victory, and which is an important signal for the party, given that the 2024 elections is almost here.
Uh, while on the field, we noticed that the BJP's campaign was more like directed towards the larger picture as opposed to local issues, whereas Congress primarily was focused more on local issues. So do you think there was a distinct difference in narratives between both BJP and Congress when it came to campaigning?
Yes, actually, like Congress was very focused on the OPS issue, the old pension scheme, and to a great extent, like if the elections do not come in the favor of Congress, one of the factors may be that the over resilience or the over dependence on over reliance, I would say, on the OPS scheme, because they felt that the government employees are going to make a huge difference in the elections, and they will be the ones that who will have the deciding vote or will be the deciding factor. So a chunk of their schemes or a chunk of their campaigning was spent on reiterating the fact that we will bring back OPS. They did, however, in their manifesto make announcements on giving freebies to school children, women, but largely OPS was their banking scheme. And whereas for the BJP, for the Bharatiya Janata Party, they focused on many other things as well. Say, for example, they talked about the national the Ayushman Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana, talked about things that are working in the central level, and they said that these central schemes are now going to be dispensed for the state. They launched Una, the Vande Bharat train in Una. They inaugurated the AIMS in Bilaspur. And so the idea is that they sell these development projects and they tell people that these development projects have come from the ages of a stable and robust planning from the center. So whatever schemes they talk about or whatever schemes they have, apart from a few regarding COVID and cash amount to the women who are getting married in a few years, most of them have the bases are central schemes, and for them it goes into the narrative of development and the fact that you would want to vote for a party that will come into power again and again at the center as well, which will continue the sense of coordination it is getting, and that's why you must repeat this party. Otherwise, Congress, that's what BJP says, that Congress will not be able to give you that sense of stability, and hence we are a better party.
Apart from over reliance on the OPS scheme in part of Congress, what were the other distinct factors when in their campaigning, according to you?
For the Congress, I believe that one thing that could have been a problem, and which has been a problem, and it might cost them the election as well, is the fact that there are multiple leaderships within Congress. In the absence of six-time CM Chief Minister, six-time CM Veerbhadra Singh, there has been a lacuna in leadership. And it was now being fulfilled by several lobbies. And this is an admission by the party itself that there are multiple chief minister faces. In fact, Pratibha Singh, the head of Himachal Pradesh Congress Committee, told me months back that they cannot announce a CM face because there might be heartburn within the party. That goes on to say that there is a division of leadership. And that division of leadership, like, for example, in BJP, they have a clear hierarchy of leadership that we are fighting in the name of the Prime Minister Modi. You have the Chief Minister Jairam Thakur, and everyone else has to vote for this idea that there is a big party and Modi is going to lead it at the state, and Jairam is leading it. Modi is leading at the center, Jairam is leading at the state, and there is no other hierarchy or division. But within Congress, you have the leader of opposition, Mukesh Agnihotri, you have former HPCC chief Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu, you have Veerbhadra Singh's widow, Pratibha Singh. So each of them are rallying for their own support base. The Congress said that it's a good thing because there are multiple leaderships, mean that there is a second line of leadership and there is an entire generation of leaders being produced. But for elections, whether that translates into a united fight, a united face, and whether people in Himachal, which is a smart voter, do they look at it as a united party to vote in? That is a factor, and perhaps it might have cost them the election.
We had an article out in our paper talking about the accidental CM this year. So, if you could tell us more about it, about.
Actually, in the previous elections, Prem Kumar Dhumal, father of Union Minister Anurag Thakur, he was the declared BJP CM candidate for the party. Dhumal eventually ended up losing the elections, and Jairam Thakur was then elevated to the CM position because Dhumal lost. Then from that point onwards, we saw a sidelining of Dhumal. Dhumal was not given the ticket this year in the election as well, even though both Dhumal and Thakur claim that he's been working for the party, but it is still looked at as Dhumal being sidelined. And Jairam Thakur was a surprise choice, and it was something that people did not foresee coming, because no one foresaw that Dhumal might lose the elections. In the last 5 years, there has been criticism against the Jairam government, saying that Jairam has perhaps not, his leadership has not yielded results for the BJP, and his idea of governance and his control over the bureaucrats has been questioned at several occasions. In fact, this year itself, Jairam, the appointment to the HPPSC, the promotion of a member to chairman in the HPPSC was not looked at from a positive way by the Delhi, and the oath of the chairman was cancelled at the last minute. In fact, the chairman of the HPPSC was also changed at the last minute, and it was looked at as a shutting down of Jairam leadership. And that's why people in the region know him as the accidental CM, and perhaps who should have not become the CM. But as per the exit polls at the moment, and if the exit polls showing BJP victory are right, then Jairam Thakur has led the state towards a victory, and since the BJP has been clear that apart from Modi, on the state level, the elections have been fought in his name. So if on 8th BJP does cross that majority mark, there will be due credit given to Jairam despite all the criticism.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Amel. Thanks.